when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Everybody, and thank you for your patience. We are here. If you just tuned in, you are listening to or watching The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on United Public Radio Network, also known as UFO Paranormal Radio Network, broadcasting to you out of beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana on 105.3 and 107.7. Also, what else do I want to? I got a whole bunch of things to tell you. Sorry, guys, I literally ran. We'll explain it after. Major power outage. The gods were looking after us, so thank God we're both here. I'm one of your hosts, my amazing co-host next to me, who's so chill. He's amazing. Love working with him. I'm going to introduce him in 1 second. I am a host on the network here. My name is Lorilei Potvin. I host the Angel Rock on Monday nights here live from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we co-host The Thing at the Foot of the Bed here every Thursday live from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm a Canadian clairvoyant medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, a spiritual teacher and mentor, and registered nurse. Now, just a few little housekeeping things for you guys. If you like what you see, please share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your families. We have all kinds of amazing new hosts on the show, plus our usual content we've had around for some time. The network's been around for almost 25 years, so we stream live practically every day, multiple shows, as well as if we're not streaming, the archive server is going. So there is something for everybody here. Also, we are on TV now. We are on Roku. UFO Paranormal Radio is the name of the channel. You can find it if you sign into Roku. We are streaming there tonight as well with The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. So you're going to sign into your account. You're going to go to the channel store and look up UFO space P as in paranormal, and there'll be a list. We're about the third or fourth down. You're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio. So I hope you'll join us there. Some of our shows do have their own channels as well under the umbrella of UFO Paranormal Radio. So please check that out. I'll be producing 2 shows tomorrow, actually, new shows on the network, The Allens Investigate and Spirit. I think it's Spirit Switchboard, I think it's called, with Carrie Lynn. Great shows, so check them out. One last thing, if you're on Facebook and you've never been on StreamYard, this is an option, so we'll know who you are. Otherwise, you just come up as Facebook user. You're going to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, give them permission just to use your picture and name. Then we'll know who you are. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly okay. But just please tell us who you are. Now, I'm going to give a shout out. I don't know if she's there or not. I'm going to say if Shannon is our resident nurse who has the paranormal poopers, if you're out there in the audience listening, hi to you guys over there. Got elderly people, residents who name themselves that name, and they listen in. I don't think I forgot anything. Here's my amazing co-host, David.
Hi, everybody. I think, what did I just do? Oh, okay. I thought I just messed something up.
You did.
Okay, cool. I was just typing back. I can just talk to you now. Iona Mead, yes, we can see you. Perfect.
Hi, Iona. We just haven't said hi to everybody. There's a whole bunch y'all here. I see Michelle left over in Australia. No problem, Michelle. I hope that you'll catch the replay. Canada Day coming up. I forgot to say happy Canada Day and happy July the 4th, Independence Day to everybody in the U.S.
Oh, my hair I just washed my hair and I can't do a thing with it. So I'm David Hanzel. I'm an intuitive medium, spiritual medium. My website is awhispertome.com. I'm on The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, obviously. And also I have another podcast called Mystic Stew. It's a short form, pre-recorded. You can find that pretty much any place that you get your podcasts at, if you're a podcaster. And so I am a medium. I'm a spiritualist. I've had NDEs. I do Reiki, channel, all the fun stuff. I won't bore you with too much. I'll tell you more later on. Lorilei and I had a little rough start, but here we are, so we're fine. And we thought tonight we had 3 subjects I could think of, Lorilei, that we could speak on, which was And you guys, if there's something that you want to talk about, just let us know. We thought about haunted dolls, scenarios that when, not if, but when the other beings from other planets arrive here and stay here, make themselves known here.
And then
what
we also talked about that we had seen. I sent you a video. We may pull it up. I watched a few things that's pretty creepy with haunted dolls. Also, we talked about possibly, we both have heard of people who have cryptids as spirit, if you want to call them maybe animals or guides. One thing I was going to, hi, Brandy Reader. We here. Hi, Iona. Hi, Howie. We've got Mark here. We've got Sandra. We've got Zach. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody here. I think I hit everybody up. So nice to see y'all here. Yeah, so happy Canada Day, July the 1st. That's why I'm dressed up. And happy July the 4th to everybody in the United States celebrating Independence Days. First of all, let's start out with spooky things, folks. I was so organized today. I had a show promoted. It was booked because I do all the producing for the show, and everything was set to go. David and I went live on TikTok last night, had a great time. We did some readings, tandem readings, back to back. It was a lot of fun. And so we promoted the show. Everything was set to go. And I thought, hey, I got time to go down to Walmart just down the street, pick up some groceries and be back in plenty of time. As I'm just about done, my cart is full. I'm just like, everything goes black, completely black. Like they had their emergency generator power. I kid you not, was on one end of the store, one in the middle, one on the other end. And as I'm walking around, I'm going, what the, okay, is it going to come back on? Like what's going on? And then I'm thinking, because we think about these things in the paranormal world. I'm going, there was someone really creepy in here right now. They could pull me into an aisle or anybody else and you'd never even hear their screams. And all of a sudden you hear a yell from the front of the store. Could everybody please come to the front of the store for your own safety? So there's like hundreds of people standing at the front of the store, all of us just hanging out. And all of a sudden they're on the phones, I guess cell phones calling, whatever. The power was out over pretty well most of the city. I've heard from one end of the city there wasn't power, or they had power. Nobody knows what happened. Cell service was crappy. We didn't even know if we were going to get to you guys. So the power came on very shortly just before we went live. Thank God. Right, Steve?
It did. But it did. We got it. You want to hear it real quick? We'll start talking about our spookies, guys, in just a second.
Take care, Iona. I'm glad you popped in. I know you're over in the UK. Thank you. Check the replay out. We got a replay. Not a problem. So,
So a strange thing, Lorilei, and I didn't even tell you because I didn't even think about it.
Ooh.
I did not know that today was Canada Day.
It's not Canada Day yet. July the 1st.
Yeah, it's the 1st. And just yesterday, because we're talking about Canada Day now, but just yesterday, for some strange reason, I looked up Geddy Lee singing "O Canada" at one of the ball games.
Geddy Lee.
And I was listening to that, and that was weird. And then the next day it happens. Now, you guys listen to this. This is just like some weird stuff. So I know this stuff happens to you guys too. So I know
I'm going to tell people who Geddy Lee is. There are people that are not going to know who Geddy Lee is.
Geddy Lee is the lead singer of Rush. And a little other trivia is when I was a young man, I played bass and keyboards in a band with two other gentlemen, and we did a lot of Rush covers.
I did not know that.
I was Geddy Lee. So while we didn't like
you sing?
Yeah, I was a singer. Woo. So we did 2112 in its entirety. We used to do
way.
We did Working Man, all the fun stuff.
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, no, we didn't because that was well before the band broke. I was like 18, 19 when I was singing.
Okay.
And I was playing Geddy Lee bass at 18 and 19, but I don't play anymore. But but anyway, not today, but yesterday too. Also, I had the day before. I said to my mom, I wish they would bring back. I was missing having the enchilada that they used to have at Taco Bell. We talked about it, and then the next day we went out to eat. We ended up stopping at Taco Bell, and guess what? They brought back the enchilada. So that day,
for you, Dave.
Yeah. So that was a weird.
They brought back your favorite drink. I remember one of those conversations off air that you found, and now.
I love synchronicities. They're just really weird.
Our resident crystal horror is here, everybody. Erica Mira, she says, as always, a day late and a dollar short. Sorry, y'all. You didn't miss anything. We were late too. Technical issues.
Know that they sell crystals at the dollar store?
Crystals? No. Your dollar store, maybe, not my dollar store.
Ours, we actually have crystals in there, and I'd laugh. And I get it. I mean, it's nice if somebody's interested, they can get a dollar store crystal, because crystals can be expensive. But
I don't think they're real.
Somebody had asked me, and I said, no, they're not real at all.
They're not real.
They look pretty, but they look pretty for that. But anyway, so back to the spookiness, my friends. So which one? Spirit animals? Encrypted spirit animals?
I'm telling you, I hope Nukes doesn't mind, but I am maybe what I'll do is I'll post the link. It's from 4 years ago. I sent it to Dave at the last minute. Like, guys, I didn't even have a full phone charged. I was planning running around looking for fully charged batteries and all kinds of stuff if we didn't have power. We were doing this show tonight. I didn't care what it was. We promised too many people. So I didn't know what was happening. So I had turned everything off. I'm saving it, running around, looking to see if we got a solar. I know we got a solar charger somewhere. We were setting all this stuff up. Power just kicked back in. So I sent Dave this video from Nuke's Top 5 from 4 years ago. Dave, holy crap, you should see some of the stuff on this, you guys, from Nuke's Top 5. I will post it for you, but holy crap. I don't know if it'll show up though in the links. If it doesn't, we may have to show some of these things. These dolls, like, there is no denying, Dave, they are moving.
Oh no, I like that one I showed you. That's my favorite one. That doll actually goes across the floor at those people. And here's my deal, though. Before we go, and people are going to ask this question, Dave, are dolls actually possessed? I'm going to tell you what I know to be true. So I don't think the actual doll is possessed, like a soul's not in the doll soul. So if you hit the doll, it's not going to hurt the soul. What I do think is that there is a large attachment to the doll, and they're literally using it like a puppet in a way.
It did post, guys. I'm going to tell you. You know what I forgot to tell people? I know I always forget something. If you're listening and you want to watch a show, you want to be part of the conversation, please head over. You can head over either to David's channel on YouTube, which is The Spirit Experience. You can head over to my YouTube channel, The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We both have posted it in the chat here. You can head over to Facebook and see it in David's group if you're a member, The Spirit Experience, right, Dave?
Yep.
You can see it on my profile, Lorilei Potvin. It's open to the public. It's pinned at top. Or head over to UFO Paranormal Radio, either the Facebook page or YouTube channel, and we will see you. Hi, Kelly Durant. Glad to see you. So I'm just putting in the chat. I put the link. So if you guys happen to see, there is a link that says from YouTube. That is the Nuke's Top 5 video I was referencing. Dave, do you want me to try and see if I can put the link that you sent me from Facebook here?
Yeah, it probably won't play on here, but God, it is so good. It's from a few years ago. You guys got to watch it. It's my favorite doll video ever.
So you believe, and I have to agree with you, there's nothing living inside the doll, but we understand that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but transferred from one place to another. And that is, we've seen it with different objects, haunted, what have you, but dolls are particularly creepy because they're supposed to be inanimate. They're supposed to be a children's toy that helps promote imagination, social skills, you pretend play, you name it. And when they start moving on their own, that is creepy.
When you think about it, and people say, well, why would a soul possess a doll or a demon possess a doll? Whatever you believe, that's fine. But if it would be a per se ghost, like I had said before, a ghost is a spirit who just hasn't gone all the way over for some reason. So they're between the two worlds. And they would be well aware of what a doll is, and to use that doll as an extension of itself would just make sense. I think it would. But I mean, I'm sure there's some people who think that they're just demon dolls, but except for that, now the one video I showed you, if you guys can see that one, that doll goes across the floor at somebody, and if you watch that, that's.
Do you think we'll be okay to play it? Because I can upload it. You can play it.
Are they going to let it on there?
Well, I think I could do it. I just hope the person that posted it doesn't mind. I'm going to post a link in the chat right now.
Oh, it was open on Facebook. It's still going on
Okay,
YouTube.
so Zach, I'm reading your comment. It says the doll may feel no pain, but it won't. Sorry, it won't. It's blocking it from me. It won't stop me from putting it in the garbage can once it stops.
The garage.
It's moving. Well, let me see if I can upload that, Dave, while you're chatting for a sec
Yeah,
here.
I know that would be too. I can't say that I had any dolls come to life in my years of being all woo woo, but I've had other strange things. I've had I used to have wind chimes that I'd literally it'd be like there'd be like no breeze in the air whatsoever, and I would be outside and back, and I would just start talking to myself or talking out loud, and all of a sudden those wind chimes would just chime all over the freaking place like a huge hurricane just went through them. So,
like, do you mean they would start? Like, when would they start doing it on their own, or while they're hanging?
No, they'd start chiming while they're hanging outside by me. There'd be no wind, and they would totally boom start going.
Actually, in one of the Nuke's top 5 videos that I looked at, I got to number 3, I think. And that video, this doll is moving, and the woman, they're doing an investigation with haunted dolls. They're hers, the mom, and it's a mom-daughter team. And she starts talking about the doll, and she catches the doll's head and slightly moving, and then she says, well, actually, I'm going to be moving and I'm not taking her with me, so if any of you good people would like to take her with you. And all of a sudden this doll kind of like doesn't quite whip her head around, but kind of like, what did you just say? You're not taking me with you? All of a sudden the wind chimes start going off in the background and people are freaking out. Then it starts happening again, that they keep going off. Like, it's really, really creepy. Okay, I've got this video almost uploaded. Let's see what we can do here.
This is where it moves. I love this one. I just think it's a fun video. If people ask me, would I be scared? No. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been in the situation where a haunted doll chased me, so I can't tell you if I'd be afraid.
You had one chase you?
No, I said if one. I said I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be afraid or not. I don't. Sure. I've never had anything chase me. I kind of don't see the unseen world as being physically dangerous to me.
Okay, I'm going to add it and then I'll start it. Okay. So give me a sec and we'll see. I got to take the volume up. So hang on, guys.
I hope so.
No, just wait. Don't start. I want this to turn up.
Okay, here we go.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with?
It's hard to hear, guys.
Does anyone want to talk to the dolls or through the dolls?
So it'd be hard to. Can they hear, Dave? Can you hear? Let us know if you can hear.
I can. We can hear it.
She's open to you. Draw. Draw as much energy as you can from us and from
I can see if I can make it bigger.
From the machines. Call you forth.
No, it won't let me make it bigger. Try, guys. Sorry.
On my laptop, it's big.
Yeah, but people might be on their phone. Hi, Lizzie McLeod. Welcome. Howie says, "Bring me the freaky." Oops. Didn't hear that word. The F word.
Well, it was on YouTube, so.
Yeah, well, we're on radio too, though. So go.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think I looked away when it moved, so I didn't actually catch it, but I knew we'd probably watch it again. So I want to see where it moves.
It does a couple times.
What doll are we looking at in particular for people looking?
I believe it's the one sitting up.
Like the one with no hair, though? The one with the red hair? Or?
The one on the, if you're looking at the screen, the far left.
Yeah, the one with no hair or like a plastic head. Okay, sitting upright.
I'm still talking.
I think that's the one, yeah.
This video isn't super long, you guys, so but it's a little bit longer.
Super long. Keep watching, you guys.
Say a few words. Say a few words.
The audio is hard to hear. Okay, let's keep watching.
That's the
Oh,
flares off of the candles or the light bulbs or something.
oh yeah.
So do you think it's pulling energy from the light bulbs? Because he's mentioning the light bulbs are doing something freaky.
Big again.
Oh, I
I
can
think
see
it
the
can
light
do it,
bulb freaky
honestly.
doing freaky stuff.
Yeah. Well, ghosts are energy. I mean, I've had my clocks in my house drained before.
Oh, always. Yeah, always.
Oh, you
The batteries in my
Like
clocks.
the light bulb looks like, or maybe that's a candle because it looks
Those are
like it's
candles. Yeah.
dancing.
Maybe,
Yeah, the
Those-
candle's almost dancing, like
I
moving on the
think
box.
it should be coming up pretty soon.
Here in a minute, we need to bring the
Been a little bit since I
If
saw
you
it.
guys can't see, I did
See if
post a
anything
link
happens,
so you
yeah.
guys can see it on your
We
own.
need to add things. We'll add the head, then the picture, then the cross.
The hand wasn't in there. No.
No, but I
It sounds
think
like they're
we
just
add
talking about things, like they're not provoking or anything like that.
Oh, they're not provoking anything. That's what I liked so much about this video.
the shelf thing. If we keep on adding every so often, if nothing happens, then
He said if
maybe
nothing
the energy will
happens, I
build
think he
up.
said the magic word. Oh, there we go.
I swear, I felt like that dog just moved there first.
I saw it move.
The dog.
The one on the left.
It did. It just moved by itself.
Yeah, it did move.
Moved.
It kind of
I
turned.
watched it not on this. I watched it with my own eyes.
I saw it too.
That baby doll butt just moved. I'm about to cry.
Oh, right here.
No, the baby
No,
doll.
that's
There.
mine, too.
Did its arm go up? I thought its arm just went.
Clown. Watch it.
You'll know when it does. There-
I missed that part. Oh my word. David, I missed that part. I must have looked away.
There's nothing under the table.
Did you see how it went off the table and then it started to scoot on the floor?
No
There's
way.
nothing under the
Like
table.
something was pushing it. Yeah.
No strings.
Does it move any more than
There's
this
no
or it just
strings,
stays
guys.
like
Here's
that?
The doll.
No, that's it, I think.
I'm scared to pick it up.
Can't remember. But there's nothing on it.
Ghosts are real.
Go surreal.
The key too just
No.
Oh,
I know.
Sherlock.
Paranormal investigator finally goes, "Oh my God, ghosts are real." You know something went on.
I
would
just
not
said no
expect that to
Shiat.
happen.
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to pause that. Hang on.
Okay.
It flew at you.
He's got goosebumps too. Is there anything else?
No, that's about it for that. Yeah, they just kind of talk about it now. But the thing, oh, wait till you take that. The thing I like the most about that particular presentation and that particular proof is the fact that I can tell that they are, those are general reactions. Those are actual human reactions. Those aren't made up reactions. The fact that the doll didn't walk or do something silly like we're showing other ones or turn its head all the way around and scream Beelzebub or whatever, it literally moves a little, it gets pushed off the table, and you see it when it hits the floor, it's like it's being pulled or pushed across the floor towards them too. And I love that. I love that video because I think right there, that's proof that spirits can move things.
Okay, so Brandy has a question, and then I'm going to add my own haunted kind of stuffy moving story. So Brandy wants to know, where was the investigation at? Do you remember at all, Dave?
I don't remember, and I think it was a doll that was already there. It was at the place. I'll let Lorilei talk for a minute. I'll see if I can't look it up here.
Okay, so I'm going to get to your comment, Lizzie, and your comment, Brandy, in just a sec. That reminded me, though. Okay, I used to do a different show on here with a good friend of mine, Seraphine. It used to be called Infinite Inquisition. Kind of not really what Dave and I do. We would pick do a whole show on something, and it was sort of more, I was a light worker. She worked with a lot of dark things, whereas Dave and I kind of do the light, right? But anyways, she collected haunted items. Like she had a cross that had been used in an exorcist that was completely broken in half, that broke during the exorcism. She had all kinds of stuff. She had lots of crazy stuff going on. She experienced a lot of things from my old house when we'd be talking on video. But when we were live on our show, and it still does happen from time to time, And I wouldn't even doubt on this show. It was a couple months ago. I know Howie said he was going to listen back. We had all kinds of creepy stuff coming through. Weren't sure if it was EVPs or not. But Seraphine and I would get EVPs. There was a couple shows where there were some pretty bad cursey words in the background. But she had these dolls behind her. And you couldn't see them super well, okay? But I didn't realize that the doll that we would see many times in the background with our show would look like it was smiling. It would look like it would blink. Its features were painted on, believe it or not. But the creepy story I have, we left our old house. We're living here. And the Dell, my partner in life, is still a skeptic after everything we've been through. And my dog, who's down at, she always makes usually an appearance by the end of the show. I don't call her. She just, it's like, she goes, hey, everybody, it's me kind of thing. Anyway, she had this favorite toy I bought her. Super floppy, could not stand up if it tried. It was a blue stuffy llama. The legs didn't even have stuffing, okay? And Dell and I were assembling something in the hallway when we first moved in. And I swear to God to you, we both saw it. That llama stood up and took about 1, 2, 3 steps and flopped over. And Dell said to me, did you just see? I said, that blue llama just stand up and take 3 steps. He goes, yep. I go, WTF. And he said the same thing. Don't know why it happened. It's never happened since. And we didn't imagine it. We both saw it. So I don't know why. I don't know how. Yeah, Howie remembers the EVPs, he said. So I'll get to a few. Oh, Nicole Ryan. Hello, I'm on vacation at the beach. Hope you guys are doing well. We were a little late tonight, but we are. Enjoy the beach. Lots of people are at the beach.
Can I interrupt you for a minute? Because
Absolutely.
you know what? I was, real quickly, that was taken. There's 2 guys who had some, it's a house it's an abandoned house, and there was some stuff that happened there, and there were toys left over. That doll was a doll that was already in the house, and all those toys were. That's why they put them together on a table. So I think they totally disrupted energy.
So you just answered Brandy's question, which was, so was it a doll they brought with them to attempt to speak to children, or was it a doll that belongs to the location?
And actually, they weren't investigators. This video is 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, we didn't have all the AI stuff. So that's what I like about the old ones like that, because there's a lot harder to fake 5 years ago than they are nowadays. Now, this is a funky thing I meant to tell you today. I kept it to myself all day long. So Lorilei and I did a bunch of readings on late last night on TikTok, which we're going to do from now on Wednesdays. So we went on there for an hour or so. We did readings, and we talked to all kinds of spirits and all that stuff.
Yep.
And pulled a bunch of cards. And then after we got done, Lorilei, we typed back and forth. And then I watched TV. About 12:30, I was just sitting on the couch watching TV, and across the room from me, I have like a coat hook, and I have my winter coats hanging on it, like my flannelly coats. And now that I see the arm, my flannelly coat, moving like that, and I thought, Angel loves to sit over there.
I thought cats first. I thought it wasn't the cats. You would have been.
And I go, Angel, and all of a sudden I saw it dropped. It like moved a little, and then it like dropped and went back. And I was like, Angel, and I walked around the corner. There was no cats there. They were all in my bedroom. That freaked me out for a slight moment, because all I did is I just go, okay, I know you're here. Gotcha. And I just went right back to watching TV. Yeah. But that clearly, I wish to God I should have picked up my camera, and I'm going to do that from now on. I assumed it was my cat.
Always pick up your camera.
Yeah, and I'm so used to it. See, it doesn't scare me though, but that one kind of, I won't say scared, like fear, but that one made me go, huh, I haven't seen you guys moving shit around in a while. I'm moving stuff around, So that was interesting.
Well, plus the thing is too, if it's something with good intentions, unless it's a jokester even, they don't do stuff to kind of just spook you out. Like, if you're not afraid, but it's kind of like, where did you come from? Like, all of a sudden, like, you could have probably shown yourself in a little different way, but I know you're here.
Well, that's the whole thing. Exactly. That one wasn't like, it didn't do a scary thing. It literally just moved my jacket sleeve. It moved it quite a bit though. But trust me, I live in a place and wherever I go, they'll show up in shadow form. And that one sometimes catches me off guard a lot. I'll turn the corner. I'll be like, okay, stop it.
Okay, so Howie said about the EVP show, that was an amazing show. And yes, he remembers. And Zach says, I remember that show, Lorilei. There was a guy who smoked cigars who would guest co-host with you ladies from time to time. He's one handsome stud, LOL. Yes, Zach did. I told people this before, maybe on the Angel Rock. Especially my first year on here, and Seraphine and I were on a previous network before. Yeah, I've had Zach fill in with me. We had great fun on the Angel Rock. I hit him up, said, hey, Zach, somebody canceled. He always supports a network, and, you know, he's here. So I said, since you're here anyways, you want to come on and join me? So we did. We had a lot of fun, actually. That was quite a few years ago, but we had fun. And yes, he is a handsome devil.
Has anybody in the audience had any experience with haunted items, dolls, pillowcases, street lamps, anything?
I want to share something while we're waiting for people to type, because I said Seraphine collected haunted items, and I knew that she would get issues with them from time to time. She had quite a few strange things. She'd take pictures or video. I would pick up all kinds of stuff, and she's pretty intuitive too. So I actually asked her one day, I said, why do you collect haunted items? Like, why would you do that? Especially when you know you're going to get activity, you're going to get a few things going on, some spooky stuff, it's freaking your animals out. And she said this, and she did know how to deal with these things. She was not somebody that would run like, oh my God, like she's very calm and knowledgeable about it. And I actually thought it was kind of noble, her answer. And she said, because most people who discover that their items, excuse me, are haunted, which is kind of a misnomer. Like Dave and I said, there's nothing inside of it. It's all energetic, right? But she said, especially if it's something negative, right? What do people do with it? Either they don't know how to dispose of it properly, or they just throw it somewhere or give it to someone, and it ends up a lot of times in the wrong hands. So she felt by keeping them, and she was energetically able to ward it, keep it in a perfect order and where it was supposed to be and what have you, that pretty well everybody could play nice together. But I will tell you, that cross from the exorcism, that crack, that did give her quite a few problems. And I can tell you that thing, she would have it in a certain place and she'd go to bed, and in the morning, and I mean, I would talk to her all the time. So I know it would be in a completely different place. And I know her, and I've known her long enough that she would not BS about something like that or just make up stories for attention. Like, it was real, because I experienced stuff while I was talking to her to know that stuff went on in her home.
Yeah, it's, objects gather up a lot of energy, and sometimes it's from someplace else. Sometimes it's from the people who hold it. Sometimes it's from who knows.
Can be collective. It can. There's all kinds of things. Do you want to read this comment, Dave?
Yeah.
And then I'll read Zach's. Mm-hmm.
It says, Leah says, my dad had an old cedar fireplace mantle stored in the basement. While it was down there, he would hear stomping up the stairs. He removed it and the stomping stopped. That's because I didn't have the cedar thing to hit the floor with anymore. You took it away. I like that, though. I like what's
because I can tell you, I watch a heck of a lot of paranormal shows, and I have my favorites. One of them is, I love the Foreman brothers. I love Josh, Rocky, and Sean. And the reason why I love them is because every weekend they went through a lot of really difficult, evil experiences as children. They now go forward on their own dime, and they go all around the US, and they go and help people, especially families that are experiencing activity. Okay. And I can tell you, I have heard many of the time, I know they're not faking it because they're live, and you will hear something running either at them, charging up and down the stairs. They will be on the one floor, and you'll hear stomp, 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 stomp up above them. And I know they're not faking it, and they're not the only ones. I just use them as an example. I have seen so many people that happen with. Now, there's many reasons I believe that could happen. Don't you, Dave?
Yeah, there's.
It could be residual, could be intelligent. Like when
I think in that case, in yours, it would be intelligent because
yes. Plus, ghosts can move things, right? And if they don't leave, and for whatever reason, and they don't want you there, they haven't crossed over.
Yeah.
I mean, they're capable of walking. They're capable of doing whatever they pretty well want to, because you can move things. Like, you don't have a body per se. It's energy. You can manipulate energy. So you can make it sound like stomping or something running at you.
Yeah. It could also be a family member who wanted your dad to pay attention to something and knew that your dad didn't believe in that crap. And so they would want to, prove something. Could be a million different things. Is Brandy still on here? Because there was, when I was at the Randolph County Infirmary where I met Brandy, and we went back there a couple times. I think Brandy, you were in the room with Star and all of us, weren't you, when that ghost charged us? I mean, it literally charged us to the. Well, it wasn't going to hurt us, but it scared us enough when we all jumped back. And who is this stupid person? Brandy, we're giving a tour. Oh, okay. She's
telling a story. Well, we got to do Zach's next. We'll do Zach's next, but she's here.
Brandy, did you remember? Were you in the room with us? Was it me and you and Star and Jessica, and who else was there? We had those laser lights, the pointy lights all over, and they broke all the lasers and just, and you saw them just running towards us. And right when it got up to the door in front of us, we all flew back. And it literally was. The first thing as I said was that a bug?
Okay, so Brandy said no, I was on the first floor, but I heard it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, yeah, you were on the first floor. Yeah, and I asked those guys if that was a bug, and they all yelled at me. They're like, what do you mean, was that a bug? I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to debunk it already.
Not unless it was a Godzilla-sized bug.
It was tall. It came towards us, but, it did it so fast, who would have known?
I have a friend who does not work with anything dark at all. She actually shocked me when she told me this story recently. And she happened to be, her and her partner would go around all over the world and do teaching. He's involved in a spiritual aspect, and she's a medium. And she went to a paranormal investigation. And they were investigating it. I think it was an old bar. And she ran into something she's never seen before. She said there was an entity that was trapped there. It did not want to be there. But she said the freaky thing about it was, because she could see it, it was like, have you guys ever seen that movie, The Abyss, like with water, the way that it kind of moves and it kind of seems alive? That's what this thing looked like. And it was trapping souls down there. And the souls were trapped in the basement because the only way this thing could stay alive was by feeding itself on negative energy. And believe me, my friend is not somebody to talk about paranormal, talk about negative entities. Like, this is just not her forte. And she could communicate with it. And it wanted to leave for whatever reason. She was not able to ascertain why it couldn't. But she knew this was not in her wheelhouse. She didn't deal with this kind of stuff. So I believe she passed it on to the owners of this business to contact somebody who was well versed in helping remove negative type entities. So there you go. Where did that thing come from?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, there's so much unexplained, and Lorilei and I don't claim to know everything.
No.
We give you our educated opinions on some stuff. Zachman said, when I was 4, I witnessed a Mother Bunny doll. It was a doll with a dress and apron. Oh, that's beautiful. It moved across the room and tapped my brother 3 times in the shoulder with its right arm. Kept it to myself for over 20 years. Why would you? I mean, not that it's crazy, but I mean, who in the hell's gonna? I get it, because I have crazy stuff happen to me all the time. If I were to tell anybody outside of my circle what happened, they would look at me and just I mean, they just strap a white coat on me.
I just said that today. I was talking to, because I work with quite a few different people, obviously not on air, but behind the scenes, with spirit, or we'll do something collectively. And I was leaving a response to something. And as I'm listening to what's coming out of my mouth, I literally said, if anybody ever heard what I was just saying right now or heard this recording, they would lock me up and throw away the key. That's how crazy it sounded.
So I get it. Do you have any idea why, Zach? Why
Oh
that
my
might
God, Zach, the reason why I had Zach on, I didn't say why. I am telling you, I've known Zach for quite a few years. Zach has had the most incredible experiences in life with the paranormal. And I don't think I'm outing it, Zach, because you've talked about these many things with potentially, he's never labeled it either, alien, UFO, you name it. He has had something, like, it's not something you've heard of before, but he has had very unusual experiences, and I'm sure he will vouch for that in the comments. That's why I've had him on, because he's well versed in the area, but I think it's taken him quite a few years to figure out exactly, like, what the heck happened, what was that when we were a kid, kind of thing. We were kids.
Oh, I know. I love that stuff.
So I'm going to read Brandy's comment. Brandy Reader, she says, while giving a tour at an old blind tiger, the jukebox that was not there anymore started playing. I had worked there in years past, and it was a song that people used to play over and over. Interesting. So what do you, I have a feeling why that happened, but what do you think?
The song kept playing. I mean, when there was no jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Residual, man. That's got some nice energy imprint.
Yeah,
That's got a good, that's
and
got
maybe somebody that loved that place really got a lot of comfort. I'm guessing they probably haven't crossed over. That's what it feels like to me. But it gave them a really good feeling and a really good place to be. So they just went to the song, like you said, that people played over and over, even though the jukebox wasn't there. That would freak people out. But I know, Brandy, that you're within the paranormal world.
Geez, yeah. I've got to tell people something that might make sense. It might scare some, and hopefully I don't scare you, because this isn't meant to scare you. Trust me, if I want to scare you, I've got stuff to tell you. But remember when nobody ever thinks about this. When we are no longer in the physical, we are in spirit. Whether you are halfway over or whether you are all the way over, you are still now hooked up to the mainframe, the major consciousness. So you could eavesdrop on people's emotions. You could know that those emotions are there. So a lot of times when people, I think, and I don't know if people realize this, when you go ghost hunting and everything, and these ghosts are going around, they know you're feeling already. They already know exactly. They probably know everything there is to know about you already, because they're already hooked up into the grid. The number one thing, and I just made a video on it, is the law of one. Every single thing that is living is connected to every other single thing that is living. So I wonder if sometimes they can get us to not see it because it's real, but help us create something to experience it. You know what I'm saying?
I think I do. I think if you're saying to help create it, I almost feel so it'll, like you said, help people see it, but something maybe help them see something that they would be more comfortable with. Is that where you're going with that?
Kind of, or else just seeing something that they want to see. So if you go in there and somebody's really excited and really put it out there that they wanted to see an apparition, and that's the night they're going to have an apparition, they have to realize that spirit in the house already knows that you had that feeling before you got there. And I tell people too that I think a lot of ghosts, whether for whatever reason they're there, I think want to still participate in life, and that's why they do these things.
Well, some of them, I think some of them are
Oh,
evil.
not all, but I think some of them are.
Totally evil at heart. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody, but
No,
there
yeah,
are
some
some that are
are.
pretty nasty. But on the other hand, with you saying that they still want to participate, I do believe they participate, right? Because you start to learn there's no time on the other side, but that thought creates whatever you wish to manifest, right? And you don't need words to communicate. You are right. They know they are coming. That there's
It's like when you and I do readings, how those people last night, Lorilei, when we were doing their ratings, they're like, how are you spot on? You're spot on. It's like, because we've learned how to get into a space where we connect into your energy. So the stuff we give back that's why it's true for you, because we
Mhm.
actually see it.
What I wanted to add
I
was,
think
have
ghosts
you
probably
noticed
are even
this?
better at it.
Have you ever noticed this when you're teaching people? I know I have our mentoring, and you'll have somebody that's feeling very frustrated. Maybe they really want to become very clairvoyant or clairaudient, and they can't figure out why it's not happening for them. So you have a private conversation with that individual. And I can't tell you how many people, when I've asked them this, when they say, well, why isn't it happening? I'm doing everything right. Like I'm meditating, I'm blah, 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 and it's still not happening. So the first thing I always say to them is, have you actually reconciled within yourself that if you had a spirit show up before your very eyes, or you heard them, but mainly if you see them too, that's a big one.
Yeah.
How is that going to make you feel? How is that going to, like, have you thought about that? And I can't tell you the amount of people that feel like maybe their abilities are blocked or they're not able to do it. Never even thought about it, but I believe spirit knew this because they go, oh my God, yeah. If it was like the middle of the night and it was dark and all of a sudden someone's standing at the foot of my bed, and the person doesn't, it doesn't have to be a negative entity or anything. It's just you can see. They go, oh my God, I never thought of that. And I always tell them, well, the universe knows that. And so does spirit. And especially something on the positive side is
Yeah.
never going to want to scare you, right?
The very first, and I was about 20, 22, I think 21, 22. The very first full-bodied apparition. I mean, this thing was so clear, it was scary. The first time I seen that, I remember after that was done, the whole ordeal, I said to myself, holy shit, that shit's real.
Mhm.
Because I, even at 22, was still, my mind was, even though I had ghost stuff happen, but until you see it with your own eyes, that's the one that drives it home.
Or hear it, like
Or
as
hear
much
it,
as we want to do it. And there's a difference between when we say we can hear spirit. Like lots of times when I lose my train of thought, my mind's already 10 miles ahead of where my words are coming because they've got spirit in one ear, like David does. So you do lose your train of thought. But when you actually hear a voice in the middle of the night and you never expected to hear that, or it woke you up, or you see it, right? Most people, they want to be able to do it, but they've never thought like what it'll feel like and what your reaction might be, like you just shared at being 22 years old and you finally seen it.
had a
You said, "Oh my
lifetime
God,
of that
it's
stuff
real."
already. Yeah.
So let's get to some of these comments here. So I want to go back to, you asked Brandy a question, but before that, Howie mentioned, when I mentioned about my friend that was with an investigation, it was kind of like this watery type. It wasn't water though. It was energetically like water. Please stay down. My dog is here. I told you she'd show up. Howie put elemental. But I'm going to go back to Brandy's comment because you were asking who was there when you heard the stomping feet. Okay, Dave? So you want to read it or you want me to read it?
No, I read it earlier. She said, yeah, Billy was also there, and I was distracting someone so they wouldn't go to sleep. I could hear the
Go to
person.
sleep.
It was loud. Yeah. Yeah, it was loud. That whole ordeal was loud.
And then she said, I think she was referring to the jukebox. She said, I think it was a former customer that went there all the time and had passed. It was their home away from home. Yeah, kind of like what I said, right? It brought good feelings, good memories. And
I can totally get on board with that one. I think that's absolutely.
And then you get people, right, that have watched all these paranormal shows. Say if they heard that, Brandy, oh my God, the place is haunted. Oh, and now you know where the all the rumors start. Because Dave, you've talked about this before when you communicated with a spirit and you find out what the actual story is versus what people are telling. Say it's a tour guide or whatever, right? It's not really haunted. It probably was a customer, like Brandy said, who found it to be a home away from home. But say, Brandy, somebody else heard the jukebox and it wasn't there. We can see how some of these stories get started, right? Due to ignorance and misunderstanding of what was really happening.
I think as a paranormal story, though, that's a beautiful story. I mean,
So do I.
Some people might be afraid, but if you look at it that way, it's total proof that there's people never go away, and that's and I think ghosts, like Brandy had put this up too here. She said, "I feel like it's people not wanting to be forgotten. I think the spirits can tell."
That? I'm sorry. Let me highlight that. You want to
Oh,
read
that's
that?
okay. Oh, yeah, it says, I feel like it's people not wanting to be forgotten. I think the spirits can tell those that are curious about the past and want to fill in the blanks. And I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And she said, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Read it.
Oh, Brandy also added, a lot of people are too demanding. I know when I have passed and people are domineering, I wouldn't want to communicate with them either. Agreed wholeheartedly.
You know, I've also wondered too, if people who go into houses and they start screaming and yelling and then stuff happens, you wonder if it's their own fear coming back at them.
I don't know. I just, you know what? And I've seen a lot of evil out there. I don't know. It's got to go somewhere though, Dave. We've talked about this before. Every thought that we have, every emotion, whatever it is, it's got to go somewhere because it's energy.
Exactly.
Right? And collectively, and let's face it, guys, we've all run into people that are sometimes not very nice people.
Yeah.
Some are right what we would call evil. No, we're talking their human selves, because I don't think anybody is truly evil in their who they really are as a soul and what have you. That's a completely different show, but who they are in lifetime in their human form.
Yeah, there's evil real people and there's evil not so real people. And yeah, I'm more afraid of the real evil people.
A lot of people say that in the paranormal world, that they're more frightened by people than they are of spirits. So Brandy added, with my comment I made a few minutes ago, she says, oh, definitely stories become elaborated because they don't know the history. And I also think that they don't understand, just because you might hear something or see something that isn't there, and maybe it's paranormal, it doesn't mean necessarily it's evil. Because this is what we get, right? Everything's a demon. Everything's a demon because of Mr. Tight T-shirt wearing gentleman and a few other shows. Not every show is like that, but there are people out there that are not really showing like what it's like to go on a paranormal investigation, or the hours and hours and hours it takes after an investigation to go through all that footage. There's so much more involved than just running into a haunted known location, screaming and yelling. And sometimes you go into notorious places and you don't get any interaction. I've seen it. So, and I really appreciate that than somebody saying, oh my God, look what's going on. And nothing's really happened, right?
Yeah, I like paranormal investigating, but there's only one part I'd like. See, a true paranormal investigator, these guys, like you said, they spend hours and hours and hours in these places sitting quiet in the dark. And these are the people not making a YouTube and do this just because, for the love of it and wanting to get their validation. It's not like it is on TV, you guys. It is a lot longer process than that. And then there's those people who sit and listen to and watch all the footage for hours and hours. I have to tell you, those people deserve gold stars, man, because I can't do it.
There's a lot. I know quite a few teams, and yep. And nobody shows it. Say you've got a lot of equipment and you're a bigger team, or you've really looked at a really big notorious place, for example, you got a lot of footage to go through. Now, I have another friend, I think she did her second season. She's so hard to nail down. She's so busy, Vanessa Hogel and Gwen Gwen Luckett, I think her last name is. They did a series over in, I want to say, Ireland the first time, and it was called oh god, it just went on my mind. I just had the name. But basically what they did was they wanted to prove to people you don't have to go to notorious places to catch basically any type of paranormal activity. And, you know, because teams that go and document it and get it on TV, it was on Amazon Prime, this series. They went to places where no teams had gone before, and they were able to tell the stories of some of the spirits that were still there. And I know their second season, they went to Scotland. I haven't had them on, but I'd like to have them on.
I think I know what that is. I think I saw that.
I'm trying to remember the name. It just went completely out of my brain. But it's talking about unknown locations. And I forget. Oh, I got to look it up. It's going to drive me nuts.
I would personally like to get some proof down here is find a place that has some known activity. I don't care. And take like 5 mediums who all have a watch or a stopwatch and a notepad, and go in the same areas, and then look at the time and write down, what do you got? What did you hear? And everybody write down the times and what they heard, and then compare them at the end of a couple hours to see. I think that would prove a lot. If 4 people heard the same thing at 7:02, then we know.
Okay, so I have a story for you. Not quite the same. Okay, then I'm going to read Zach's comment because it's kind of an answer to the story he shared. And then we'll get to the other comments. I was in the most active part of my home in the basement, and I was talking to Seraphine, who at that time lived in Florida. I was talking to a very experienced paranormal investigator that had teams out on the West Coast in Colorado, as well as another team out in Maine. And we all used to be on the same network together, and we were all chit-chatting, having a few drinks. And I finally said to them, you guys all do this. You all do investigations. You all do EVPs. You do all this stuff. We have never done this at my house. So we did. And I can tell you, no, did we film it? No. But they'll all vouch for it, that they all used different types of ITC or intertrans communication. I think Seraphine was using an Ovulus, and I forget what the other 2 teams. One person was a female on the West Coast, and it was a couple on the East Coast. And then there was me, where I was in the haunted location up here in Thunder Bay. And we could not believe they were all getting the exact same answers, at the exact same time, the exact same, like the one that had been doing it for 25 years said she'd never seen anything like this. And we were basically on 4 different geolocations from where we were. We were nowhere close to each other. So there you go. I think that validates a lot of things. The only thing I wish we would have had the wherewithal to videotape it. We were all having a few drinks, which I wouldn't advise when you're connecting with spirit, but yes.
It messes when you bring alcohol or drugs into an investigation.
Yes. No
really,
drugs. No drugs. We were just
really mess
what? We didn't live together, and we were no longer on the old network. It had shut down. So we made it was kind of like a date night, but nobody was couples. Like it was a friend date night. So we would do this every couple of weeks. We'd get together and have a little party on Skype. So we were all together, but we weren't all in the same room.
Ah, that's cool. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I just always wanted to do that experiment because everybody, I mean, I see paranormal teams, they'll go in with one medium, and then the one medium will say all the stuff they hear. And then you got to go ahead and try to validate just what that one person said. And it just doesn't make sense. Or as soon as there's an EVP, everybody goes, hey, the spirit just said, I live in the north. And then as soon as you heard that, no matter what that says, everybody's brain is going to go, I live in the north. Yeah. So I'd like to.
Like that Yanni, what was it? Yanni, or what was the other thing you would hear? Do you remember that recording that was out there that people would listen to it and you'd get one word, or it was Yanni?
Oh, yellow needle, blue needle.
No. This was like, it was a phrase, and people would hear either Yanni, or it was like, it wasn't Michael. or it was Michael. Like these phrases were nothing connected, and it just depended who was listening. And I tried it many different times, and it depended on the time of day. I used the same headphones, or like, have you ever seen those pictures, right? Where depending on how you look at it, some people see mint green, some people will see pink.
Yep.
So you see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of room for
Yeah, there's a lot of room for stuff, and that's why I think we have to be a little bit more diligent and a little bit more hardcore in the investigations going on, because of stuff like that. I mean, Lorilei and I we know too, because even as spiritual people, we know when stuff is like, that's not, sometimes a feather is a feather.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
you got to know what
comment. Let's read Zach's comment.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
This went with his story. So he said, absolutely, Lorilei. As for the doll incident, I'm not sure. That was the one that tapped his brother on the shoulder for a refresher. I should remind you, if you're just tuning in, you are listening to UFO Paranormal Radio Network, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. It's live, and I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin, with my amazing friend and co-host, David Hanzel. We are talking about haunted dolls and haunted experiences right now at the moment. So, and we're coming to you out of New Orleans, Louisiana, 105.5 and 105.3 and 107.7 out of New Orleans, Louisiana. So Zach was answering about there was a bunny doll when he was a child that it moved and went and tapped his brother on the shoulder. He didn't talk about it for 20 years. So he then says, absolutely, Lorilei. As for the doll incident, I'm not sure why he didn't say anything for 20 years. But all I know is that it frightened me so bad I couldn't talk about it openly. The following morning, my grandfather was babysitting us, and I couldn't eat breakfast. My grandfather had my dad on the phone and kept telling my father, Zachary won't eat. My mother had gone into labor the previous day, hence why both my parents were out of the house. Interesting.
Maybe it was the baby.
What's that?
Maybe it was the energy of the new baby.
I don't know. That's a pretty freaky way to freak your brothers out, is tap them on the shoulder with a bunny.
Ask yourself, is the brother that she had, is he like would he do, is that something he would do?
I was just thinking that, Dave. I was going to ask Zach that. Is this brother, is he kind of a trickster, like jokester?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I that's just it's not a knowing for me. It's just a guess. It's just an option.
I don't know any. I don't always ask about
some. You know what, Brandy said sometimes it's seeking a thrill. I do understand. To all you people, I don't want to ever discourage you from going on a ghost hunt. It can be quite amazing if you can sit through it, be patient. But I think that when you do it, go in there not expecting to be afraid, because I know a lot of people want to be afraid. And if they want, because fear is a cool feeling. I mean, this isn't a feeling we get on the other side, fear. It's just not there. So you might as well get all the little scares and the jump scares in you can while you're here.
Well, you know what I had as a revelation a few years back, and at first I disagreed, but after I gave it some thought, I agreed. Pretty well the root of most emotions, once you break it down, especially if it's a little bit more negative, when you break it all down, not love, but not even the positive, I'll say pretty well the negative ones, when you break it all down, it all comes down to the root is fear.
The root is fear. It is. There's all my guides were always saying to me, they said this for a long time, and then it was redone. They said there are literally only two emotions, and the two emotions are love and fear, and they're polar opposites. Yep. And like Lorilei just said, a lot of things in the fear category, any emotion that's not love literally falls into the fear category. Mm-hmm. It really does. And because love love in our world actually contains all the emotions, because only human beings can get hurt from love, or get excited from love, or do things in the name of love, or do bad things.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, though. I want to ask you this. Okay, so let's look at an elephant, and let's look at a dolphin, and and gorillas too, and the ape family. I don't know about that. Like, is it at the depth of what we perceive human love to be? Because I can show you, I've watched some documentaries.
Different perception.
What's that?
They don't have a human perception of life.
Well, let me finish. I didn't finish what I was going to say. When they lose a baby, elephants, for example, they almost have a funeral procession. They grieve, they cry. They have proven with, for example, orcas, when the babies are separated, and there's been some pretty horrible things about that. The mothers are crying and grieving. And so I don't know. I think they have a feeling of love, but it may not be on the same level as a human being.
Well, animals are pure love, but I think I understand what you mean. I really do. I understand what you mean. They also, though, are on the other side of the veil as well, too, though. So they don't have full knowledge of the other side either when they come here, because there's their lessons. I do know for a fact, like you said, animals, gorillas, dolphins, they all are very sad or upset. We've got orcas out in the ocean now seeking revenge. So, you know, I tell people, when people go, animals have no soul, I just laugh at them.
Oh, hell no.
Why don't you go sailing in the Mediterranean and tell me that? You know, it's like these people
or like their societies are set up different than ours. In a lot of ways, I think animals are better in a way. I know we're here for an experience, but when an animal mates for life, it truly mates for life. Or, you know, and when they lose their mate, like I think they have a depth of emotion, though. I'm not trying to humanize them, because we can do that with our animals because we love them so much. But they do have that breadth of emotion, and I think love and loss and grief and anger and revenge, and not all of them, but some of them.
I know when my cats are sad. I know when they're happy. I know when they are, even though their expression on their little faces never change, I can sense it from them.
I don't know. I swear I saw Angel smile the other day. I think I even said that to you. I'm positive I did.
Oh, I know what you mean, because I know that they probably do. Yeah. You know, I can't say they don't, because sometimes it look like you can see in their faces it's different. Yeah. Yes. Yes. What was that? There was a really good. What were you talking about? How he said, "Thank you, David. Thank you."
I'm not sure what he was saying, but he had it in capital letters, and he was super excited because he kept saying, "Yeah." He said, "Yes." Erica said, "Can see your comments," so I didn't highlight that, but I know you can see our comments because you posted. And then he says, "Thank you, David," and then he says, "Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that." I know Howie will clarify. By the way, you guys, we're going to give Howie a shout out with the Rift Network. Forgot to do that. And David and I are going to be on his show, The Orion Effect, on July the 9th. It's a Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He has a great network. He's got all kinds of shows on there, great hosts. So be sure to check out his network. And he always supports our network. So we got to support one another when we're doing this. So I'm sure he'll let us know.
Okay, can you throw up his "What about certain species"?
Okay. I was going through the comments, but I will be happy to do that. Okay, what about certain species? Howie's asking.
Thank you. Just because I had to comment, because you're absolutely correct, Howie. He said, "What about certain species of birds that do a death circle? The creatures not pass." They do. And then, where I used to work, there was a goose. There was two geese. One was just sitting in the road, and the other one was standing next to it. It's cold outside. I had to call somebody. There was a female goose had died. She was frozen in place. Oh. He would not leave. He would not leave her side until they came. Animal control came and got her body and put it into the truck. When they put it into the truck, he looked around and then he flew off. So even at death, he was not going to leave his mate, and they mate for life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they realize that, but yeah. So animals have.
So do wolves. Wolves do too. There's many animals that mate for life. And okay, so Howie's clarifying what he said. So his comment about writing and documenting evidence and actions of an experimental. That's what I brought up at first, and Dave was clarifying. Yes, because it takes hours. You know that, Howie. You do investigations.
He was talking about when I said have actually mediums go in and document times things were said and everything.
yes, you did. I misunderstood.
Yeah, so everybody can get in on it. Me and Lorilei will do it. You grab us a couple more mediums, we'll go someplace.
Well, that's why I was going with Brandy's. I'm a little off tonight, you guys. I've had so many crazy things happen. Okay, so what she said, okay, that's where I was going with that. So I misunderstood. Dave's on the ball. He knew what you meant, Howie. So thank you for that. Brandy said, oh, that would be an amazing experience. I've always wondered if spirits visit at specific times. I think that is a great idea. I would do it, Dave. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and you know what? That's interesting too, because like animals have no sense of time, but for some reason they always know when you're going to be home. You know, but they don't know how to tell time, obviously. And ghosts, I don't know if they know how to tell time or if they're stuck in a timeless area, but I think that they could come back at like 3 a.m. every morning.
Okay, so I got a problem with that, but people, I kind of understand it now. So if you were human, you would know what time was. Say you are an earthbound spirit, right? So, but the problem is there is no time on the other side, or what people experience. Like we've heard it near-death experiences. Somebody could be gone 20 minutes and it seems like they've been gone for 3 or 4 days over on the other side. Plus, then you get spirits who have been human that wake us up, especially those of us as mediums, and want to have a conversation. You got to remind them, we need our sleep. This is not a good time. I'll talk to you in the morning, kind of thing. Right. So I've always had a problem with the fact that everybody, it's 3 a.m. like it's bewitching hour, right? Because paranormal activity happens at any time of the day, especially during the day. But we kind of have this special safeguard feeling like nothing's going on. But 3 a.m., as I've understood it, sorry it's so long, but I know you'll have lots to say about this. 3 a.m. people have explained, depending on where you are geographically, that supposedly that is a thinning of the veil at that time. I don't know. I don't quite agree with all this. I'd love to hear your thoughts and other people's as well.
No, you're absolutely correct. And I don't think anybody has the correct 100% correct answer. I really don't. I do know with like ghosts and everything, with my readings, when I do readings and I'm connecting to somebody's loved ones, they are aware of time when they're with me. So they are. Time isn't something we forget about when we go there. We still know that we can perceive time when we need to or want to. So a spirit who's like in between worlds, for whatever reason, a ghost, would be able to perceive time and would know when something happened at 3 a.m. Now, the whole 3 a.m. thing, what I know of, I think that was stolen from something else, because 3 a.m. is different all around the world.
Yeah, it's almost like when they say, you have a drink at noon and they say, well, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. Well, it really is. So is 3 a.m.
So what they're talking about is how that originally started, and that's what I know, how that originally started at 3 a.m. And this is more of a spiritual thing and a meditative thing than it is a paranormal thing. 3 a.m. is, at 3 a.m., most any place on the world is the quietest time. It's the thinking time. It's when a lot of people go within. A lot of people are like that in 3 a.m. And I think what happened is people took that and maybe made it ghosts are available at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
In all reality, and it's not exactly 3 a.m. I think it's between 2 and 4, something like that. That's what they would call like the witching hour, or they used to call it. That was when we were the quietest. And I don't mean quiet on the outside. I mean human beings' brains as the quietest time. We're not.
So Howie's got, sorry, Dave. Howie's got a suggestion that Brandy thinks is a good idea. I'm going to back up because Erica had a story too. So I want to share Erica's story. But Howie says, perhaps we could all do this on NGHD. And I'm thinking, is he talking about National Geographic HD? He wasn't, because he clarified. He says National Ghost Hunting Day. We all do an experiment at time. I agree. How beautiful, because this is what Brandy said. Howie, that would be a great idea. I also like seeing if one location could communicate with another, like having a predetermined word for each location while we're communicating with spirit.
Howie, do you want to hear something really weird? A couple years ago with I can't say their name on here. There is a place, Brandy knows these people. Anyway, they were doing on National Ghost Hunting Day. their thing was they had the teams in the houses, and I was working with one team, except I was working from my home. So I was on the phone watching a videotape while they were investigating, and then they would do their thing and they would say, David, do you feel anything here? And then I would say what I was getting. So that was interesting. And I don't know where that came from, but it is a good experiment to see. They're experimenting to see if a medium can pick up the house without being there. And I have to say, absolutely.
Cool. Because Howie said, combine a true conscious collective experience, the same experiment. If anyone is interested, let's build a science group. Well, I know I will be. Dave, are you going to say yes? Hell yes, right?
Yeah.
So anybody out? Well, I think we've already done National Paranormal Day. I'm positive we have, haven't we? I think wasn't it in April?
I think it's in November, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm positive.
There.
Yeah, check it out, Dave. I'm way off here. I could be anywhere, probably, I'm sure. I want to share Erica's comment. I don't want her to think that we've forgotten her. So she says, a crew came out to the haunt I've worked at. This will be my 23rd haunt season working in the haunt industry, the Haunted Mill in Belmont, North Carolina. A crew came out for a few nights. The second night, were you going to say something, Dave?
No, I said that's right by me.
Oh, no. But I thought before you did, I thought you found it. I could kind of feel your energy go, oh, that's when it is.
I did. But yeah, you got the right energy.
Okay. So what is it? When is National Paranormal Day?
Saturday in September.
In September?
The last Saturday in September. Yeah.
So you were closer than I was. I don't know why I said April. Maybe that was, you know what it might have been?
Because the spring is scary.
That would make sense, because maybe that was the pet one. There's one, right? One for your pet. I wonder if that was it. But you were right, because I kept thinking after you said November, I went, yeah, I think it is closer to that. Okay, so remember, last Saturday in September. So we got lots of time to get ready. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm even lucky that I'm here tonight. If you joined late, we told the whole story. You'll have to watch at the beginning. We didn't know. And of course, Dave is go with the flow. I know Dave is in good hands. We have a station manager because she was worried because she's on next. So stay tuned, you guys, for Michelle DeRoche, Amelia Pisano with the second night of the Outer Realm. They have Wednesday and Thursday nights here. Amazing show, amazing guests. But she's on right after, right? And I know what it takes to produce, so does she. And if we would have had to upload a show, so I told her, you'll never have to upload a show with Dave. Dave can handle the 2 hours, no problem. You just got to go start and end, right, Dave?
Yeah, I'll never shut up.
That's not it. I have full faith that David could handle a 2-hour show very beautifully, and you guys would have just as much fun. I mean, if I was here or not is what I'm saying. He would be very entertaining, because he is. I hear about him all the time. Great things from you guys.
It's not that much.
So Erica continues her story. They had to cut short because all their equipment batteries were drained. 3 of the crews started feeling extremely ill. Yes, I have heard of that in certain locations as well. So Erica says, then, I need to send y'all a recording I did while doing a walkthrough, making sure all my actors were staying in their scenes and keeping high energy. I picked up something very interesting. I'll send. Ooh.
Too. Yeah, that place is right down the road from me.
Is it, Dave?
Yeah, it's like a fun haunt they do. It's in Belmont, which is, I don't know, it's maybe like 15 minutes.
Okay, so Howie told us forward seeing, and then he goes, it's in September, meaning National Ghost Hunting Day. Maybe I was thinking of Paranormal Day, because there is one called Paranormal Day. Now that I think of it, because there is Happy National Ghost Hunting Day. Isn't there a Paranormal Day? Because I am positive I saw something like that recently. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're right, May 3rd.
Okay, I'm not going crazy, because it was driving me crazy, and I kept hearing spirits say, check that. It's not the same. So there is National Paranormal Day, because I'm positive I posted stuff in my group, Paranormal University, because I have a paranormal group and a spiritual group. So Ghost Hunting Day. Thank you, Brandy. Brandy goes, there's both. Thanks, guys. So we wrote, Dave was right, and I was kind of right, but it was about Paranormal Day. Okay, so Howie says, I will be at the cabin on 360 and do it with y'all. And Brandy says they're both. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So and Howie says we'll combine a true conscious, sorry, I gotta highlight that, true conscious collective experiment. Did I do it? No, I didn't. Hang on, it moved. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. My computer's decided to have a mind of its own. Okay. Howie says, combine a true conscious collective experiment, the same experiment. I love it. Shall we film it, Howie and Dave? What do you guys think? Anybody else that's going to participate?
Yeah,
I
because
think we have to, don't we?
there might be stuff to see on the film.
Yeah, or here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we have to then. Oh, this will be fun. So you guys, Howie and Brandy, you'll have to remind us when we're so Erica says, hey y'all, so she must be just back. I don't know if she ducked out or not, maybe. You'll have to remind us so that we'll keep mentioning it, because the more people we have in different locations, as long as everybody sticks to the parameters of the experiment, I think it could be really interesting, don't you?
Yeah. Brandy, if so, some of you who don't know what National Ghost Hunting Day is, Brandy put it up here. National Ghost Hunting Day is to collaboratively investigate around the world within the same hours at different locations. And it was fun. I liked it. The only weird thing about it was when I was doing it, all the people that they were taking the ghost hunt, they didn't, after a while, they just wanted to keep asking the medium questions. And I'm like, we're here to do the ghost hunt. But
and then Brandy added, some locations are brought on stage to investigate live. You register for a specific location. So this is globally, I would think, right? If you, Brandy and Howie?
It's around the world.
Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh, she did say that. Duh. I need coffee, guys. I'm drinking an energy drink. Sorry. I'm like total in duh mode. Now, as I'm calming down, like all the things that were happening, now I'm just kind of like settling in. So please forgive me. You did say around the world. So Nicole says, I would love to participate. Awesome. So like I said, I asked Brandy and Howie if they would keep us relevant with this or let us know, and we can pull some people in together. I'm up in Canada. I might be all on my lonesome. I'll have to find some Canadians that are doing this. Because Erica says, Dave, can I hang with you then? I guess if you're going ghost hunting, or are you doing it from your house? I guess it'll depend what the experiment parameters are.
That place is a thing they do for Halloween. It's a haunt with, the actors and everything.
But she's talking about the experiment.
Oh, the experiment. Yeah, if we can do it here someplace. Yeah, I was going to say, because I know a bunch of mediums in this area that would probably all get together in one place to do the experiment too.
Hi, Debbie. Debbie Schmoley's here.
Holy schmoly.
She just came at the perfect time, because we're talking about an experiment that Howie and Brandy, we kind of put them in charge of setting up, that we're going to do this cool experiment on National Ghost Hunting Day. So she's also adding Brandy about it. So thanks, Brandy. She goes, National Ghost Hunting Day is global. She did say that, and I missed it. Dave got it, of course, because he's more on the ball than I am tonight. It says groups register for a specific location. I don't know if Maria, I'm not sure who Maria is, has mediums do multiple locations still, or stick with one location. I guess she's an organizer, I would guess, right?
Yeah, I worked with Maria, and I don't work with Maria anymore. So
okay. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes our contracts are done with one another, and we just move ahead.
She works with that stuff, and she has a good magazine. But yeah, she helps put that stuff together.
So Howie says we can talk about this next week. We can do a multi-medium experiment. Yes. You know what I just thought of? I haven't even run this by Dave, but I know he wouldn't be opposed to it. You guys all probably know who Art Bell is, right? From Coast to Coast AM years ago. He had an experiment when there was no rain in Texas, for example, right? And he had like 150,000 people from around the world listening, got them all to focus for 30 seconds. And the next day there was rain that came out of nowhere. My whole point of saying this, that in the future, if it's something maybe you guys want to do collectively on the show, what do you think, Dave? Like not moving rain or moving storms, but maybe some little experiments we can try together and see.
Yeah, in fact, I have a group. I'm going to see if I can't find their name. They do this. Certain experiment all the time with aliens, with UFOs and stuff.
I know what one with the app and everything.
No, not the CE5.
Oh, okay, then I apologize. I don't know.
This is different. This is another group, and they are called. I probably got rid of their email. I get so many, I put it in. This is a group of spiritual people who get together, and they do it on the same day. You just do it from your home, and they pretty much ask for them to do something for the world. And they've been doing this for like 25 years now, and they've been delivering every time, but it's not big enough for the whole world to notice. You know,
like I know right now, a friend of mine where they live, it's hurricane season, and there's one heading to where they live, and they were hoping to kind of help with energy to kind of move it a little bit so it didn't make landfall. And I said, well, why don't we have a little group chat between the group of us? I said, well, why don't you post a picture? I said, It can't help. We're all intuitive, and we, the more people that focus on it, the more energy, right? And so we'll see what happens. But Howie says, yeah. So what I was talking about, though, and I'm going to read the next couple comments, is like, say you guys want to try something. Like, I know there's an app from Russell Targ. His name is. He's so old, but as far as I know, he's still alive. He was the person that ran the remote viewing program with the U.S. Army. He's got an app in the App Store. It still should be in there. And I think it's called ESP Trainer, and it's free. And he works on people by using this, being able to, you do little experiments, like try and guess what color is going to come up or whatever. It's a really old type of experiment. I forget what the name of it is, but he's got a free app in there to help you start training your intuition. Like we could do fun things like that if you guys wanted. It doesn't have to be like, working on your intuition. I don't know. Like, let's just see how it goes. Or maybe you guys will have some suggestions because
there's a lot of them on there. I looked it up. Yeah, ESPN.
Is it still there? It's by Russell Targ. And if you guys know anything about remote viewing and the U.S. military, he was one of, I want to say, psychologists that was at the head of that program years ago. I've watched interviews with him. He's a fascinating gentleman, I'll tell you. So Nicole Thomas, Ryan, I'm close to Dave too. Debbie says, it's always on my mom's birthday, so I'm always with my mom when it's going on. Okay. Howie says, yes, he's got lots of yeses tonight. He said, conscious collective, yes, right? Why not? Because we're talking about spooky ooky type of things and whatever. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we can do this. So Debbie Schmoley says, I'd be down for that if I can make it. Sandra, you've been quiet, Sandra. Sandra said, let's do it. And Brandy says, would be cool for one of your viewers to do a remote viewing and you guys participate through the live. We could, like I say, this show is for you guys, right? It is, right, Dave? So it could be things Dave and I can talk about and see where we go with it.
Yeah. What's at the foot of the bed? Let me remote view it from
the thong is at the foot of the bed. Kevin Bacon Speedo is at the foot of the bed.
No. He's a thong at the foot of the bed.
Did I screw it up? I probably did. It was supposed to be the thong, right? The thong.
Funny.
Who said the thong at the foot of the bed? I forget who said that. That was a winning phrase.
I'm going to let you guys know if this is any good, but I just downloaded for fun the Zener ESP.
That's the experiment it's based on. That's the experiment, ESP trainer. It's the Zener experiment. It's based on that.
I have done the Zener. No, it's really funny. I'm that one person when people lift up cards are like, what card is it? And my first thing my mind says is, I don't give a crap because
I get them wrong all the time, and I'm very intuitive. I do. I
yeah,
really
because it is some people, if you don't give a crap, your intuition is not going to work.
or I tell myself, you know what, you're not going to get it right. And what an attitude to go in with. And then once you try it a couple times, then I get frustrated. It's like, okay, like I know I can do this. Why can I not do this? But that's not the way it's meant to be used. You just go in with an open mind without expecting a result one way or another. And it's meant to be like a practice type experiment to help you get more intuitive is what it is.
It's good to practice it, but you know what? But the bad thing about it is some people couldn't tell you anything about anything until they got into that situation where they're doing the reading, and they'll just like, boom, 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 boom. You know, because I know I'm like that too. When people always do those like cards where you look at the star, my accuracy. Well, last time I did those cards, the Zener cards and everything, was probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was very good at it at all.
I sucked. I will tell you that I sucked.
I wasn't good at it at all. And then people are like, well, how can you not be good at it? You talk to dead people. I'm like, I know, but they're not holding up cards.
They're not cards.
Guess what I'm trying to say, Dave. I don't want to guess. You have to tell me or I'm not going to be able to do my job.
That's just it, right? Yeah. Okay, so Howie says, I am a Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo. I'm all about doing this. And Nicole Thomas said, Ryan said, I did. Howie, you're absolutely right. The movie, and I can't believe how many people I mentioned this to with remote viewing, that it was based on the team from the U.S. military, that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats. And people
saw that movie yet.
What's that?
I've never saw that movie.
Well, it has George Clooney, but he's not just based on one character, but Lynn Buchanan, who still does quite a bit of training with Lori Williams. They have, it's called Intuitive Specialists on Facebook. They run a pretty cool, I've sent it to Zach before over the years. I know I have. She does a 4-day masterclass for free to teach you how to do a certain type, a controlled remote viewing. I'm positive that's what it's called. And it's free. And Lynn still teaches it, but when he talks about The Men Who Stare at Goats, he said George Clooney's character was based on him, but also with a bit of everybody else from the unit thrown in there too. It's a pretty cool, interesting movie.
Yeah, I'll have to see that movie.
We got Sun Dragon saying, hey all, welcome. And we got Sandra who says, I love that movie. So there you go.
Never saw it. I'm going to have to. I must be, there's nobody on here. If people say, I have been like all over the place with everything. I just keep feeling stuff all over the back of my neck tonight, and I don't know why.
I can tell you're distracted, and I am distracted. Like, I don't usually miss comments. And
that's why I keep looking behind me. I swear to God, somebody's in this room.
Well, I think your character actually has not left your place. I'm not sure what their purpose is, but
I was thinking that earlier, the same thing. I wonder what that is, hasn't left yet.
Oh, Brandy says she's never heard of that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats. Sorry, I hit the wrong comment. Yeah, I don't think your character has left there. I think they want something, but they're a little shy. So they're going to do it to distract you while you're in the middle of something, or like when you were watching TV. So, Oh, Howie says, whoop, whoop, I have to get back to work. Love you guys. Talk with y'all this week. Whoop, whoop, whoop. July 9th. Let's break some myths. Yes, so we will be on live with Howie on the Orion Effect on the Rift Network. So we can't wait to be there. So we will be there. You guys come join us. We'll be live. We're going to be talking about, I think, a whole bunch of topics, right?
Whatever in the hell Howie wants us to talk about, I'm going to talk about.
Okay, Dave, if your hair starts to lift up while we're live, I couldn't understand what was wrong with you, okay? Because David's like, I still get comments like about the Kevin Bacon stuff, and David's so funny. I could tell he was distracted. I'm wondering what the heck's going on.
It feels like something's behind me, and I don't know if it's just hot or something, or I don't know.
If your hair starts to lift up like this, I'm gonna be like, what?
I tell people on TikTok now, if they ever see me make a video and I start scratching my ear, going like this around my ear, when Spirit talks to me, it tickles sometimes.
I knew that about you, but I could tell you were all of a sudden kind of distracted. I'm like,
No, it's like, what the hell? What's this energy in here? God. And it's not evil or bad, so no.
It's not bad. No, it doesn't feel like bad energy. It
No.
feels like very
I'm
shamanic
hoping, though, I'm really hoping that there's some religious nut watching the show going, see, they talk about all this stuff, now the demons are going to get it.
Okay, I think I've talked about this before, but our Paranormal Survivor episode, somebody was streaming it on Facebook. And one night I was looking for the link and I happened to see somebody's comment and it caught my eye. Oh my goodness, kind of like what you said, Dave. The reason why the demons are at your house is because you two people are living in sin. Y'all get right with Jesus, y'all. That's your problem. You have no belief in a higher power. Like these people were just going on and on and on. I just love what you said. Oh, Z-Sun Dragon says like a playful type energy.
It actually is, Dragon. It is. It really is. But it keeps. I really keep feeling it touching my hair, and that's
okay. So Brandy says, I was just about to ask if someone was tickling your ear, left occipital lobe, meaning the back of his head. Sandra has a good suggestion. Acknowledge and ask.
I did already. I get no answer.
Okay, so whoever you are, if you're willing to come on the show, come on up. We want to know who you are. You're distracting Dave, so you want attention. So we see you, we hear you. What part do you want to play in this show? Like there's something because you've decided to appear now.
My guide said focus, it'll stop. I'm like,
okay. It's hard.
And you know what, you guys, that's how I talk to my guide too. I said that in my head. I was like, it's hard. I can't do it.
Did you literally just say that? Because that's what I heard. It's hard.
Who can do that? Anyway, I'm gonna ignore you. Go away. Leave my hair alone.
Well, we're almost out of time, anyways. We had a crazy day today, y'all. Like I said, if you haven't been here at the beginning, you gotta check out. We didn't even. Well, David, we would have got Dave on the air and off, but Dave can handle himself. But all the power in my city went out. Like. We have no idea. I was in the middle of Walmart. I've got a video up on Facebook. I was running around the house collecting because we do keep batteries charged to plug into the cell phone. And we had no internet though. And data is usually really fast. Like the data, it was so slow. Like Dave, when you sent me a voice message, I was trying to hear it. I had to open and close it like 6 times.
Isn't that weird?
To load.
Mm-hmm. I swear, some of this social media is going batty. Yeah. What do you got? 8:49. I suppose we should start wrapping it up a little bit. So,
okay. Sandra says, "Tell it to announce itself or go." I agree.
Yeah, you know why I'm not telling it to go? Because it's. I mean, as much as it's bothering me, it's not really.
I kind of feel like it's young, like it's a youngster, like not a child, but not a teenager either.
Either that or it could be Angel. I always wonder too if Angel's energy gets. Not an Angel, my cat Angel. He's very rambunctious, and I wonder he always knows when it's about time to go here, or he wants to come in. Maybe it's his energy. I don't know, but I'll figure it out, and I'll let you know who it is. But you say, should we start? We got 10 minutes. Well,
we got a few minutes. You want to tell them? Oh, Zach said this was a great show. Zach says today I won't be here next week because I'll be on the other side of the country. Hope everyone has a great week coming up. Happy Canada Day to all. I cut off there, so I don't know if I can see the rest. I'm going to hit that for a minute. Happy Canada Day to all my, I think it says friends, and also. Happy July 4th, Independence Day to everybody in the United States. He said, all my Canadian friends, and a happy 4th to all of my fellow Americans. Yes, that's why I'm wearing the Canadian stuff. I had a gorgeous t-shirt picked out that I was going to buy to wear on the show, but that didn't happen because Walmart's lights blew out.
To anyone listening, whether if you're in America on the 3rd and the 4th of July, say a conscious little prayer for any animals running around during that. We lose a lot of animals on the 4th of
That's
July.
right. Well, same as the first here, David, with fireworks.
They either get run out in the middle of the road, they get hurt, or animals just run away from their homes, or we have some really stupid people here in America, you probably do in Canada too, who will take their dogs or stuff outside without a leash and then firecracks go off. But nothing against firecrackers, go for it. But say a little conscious prayer for the animals just to keep them calm or something.
The other thing I want to add, actually, that was a good point, Dave. I'm going to try and remember, because we can set fireworks off any long weekend. It used to be, I think the bylaws changed to July the 1st and I believe Labor Day weekend, but people still set them off on the weekends, right? Like Canada Day will be crazy, just like it is on July the 4th. But if you have an animal that has a hard time coping, I've met many friends that do, they dread these holidays with firecrackers or fireworks. So take a look online. There are some incredible, really great suggestions about how to help your pet manage this, because you can't stop it. It's going to happen. Now, I've seen anything from the Thunder Vest. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but there's a lot of really great, I saved them from last year and I'll try to remember to post them. But there's lots of really good things that don't cost money, that are natural, that you're not going to have to drug your pet or anything, but some really great suggestions I ran across. I wish I could pull them out of the top of my head. I didn't think of it till now. So try that as well. But it definitely, that was a beautiful thing you said, Dave.
To be funny though, you know what? My old cat Charlie, who I love to death, Charlie, all those years I had him, that cat would literally sit in a window with it open and just sit by the screen, and there could be lightning and thunder going off and hit 6 trees in front of it, and that cat would just look at everybody like, "What?
What?"
He was never scared. He wasn't scared of anything. And I swear that was it. I say it because that's outside of me. That cat hated everybody. But what we'd look at it like, is your cat going to be okay? And the cat's looking at it like, who cares? Get out of my house. So it was. Yeah.
Oh gosh, we better get our butts out of here. I just realized what time it was. Do you want to go first, Dave?
Yeah, Brandy says CBD oil works well for pets. They do have CBD oil for pets here. You can get in the States that is for pets. You can get hold of me at my website, thewhispertome.com, if you're interested in readings. Follow me on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook under Spiritual Medium David Hanzel. My group is The Spirit Experience on Facebook, and my group is The Spirit Experience on YouTube. Thank you.
And David or I do never contact people to solicit readings, just so you know that. If you get, even last night during the live, somebody showed up and said, David, you messaged me, you were going to give me a reading. So we don't do that. You contact us, and that's how it works. So if you get that, it's not us. The other thing Dave and I are talking about, we don't always have it. We try to on Wednesday evenings, if we can, to go live on Dave's TikTok. He's got a pretty big following, so it just makes sense. We had, I think you said, Dave, 6,500 people watching last night.
Well, we ended up with like 65.1K likes. Just people just even popping on for a minute, going, "Oh, I like this," and then popping up. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I like when people like the stuff and share it.
We're going to try and do that, like we said, more regularly. And then we're even looking at maybe some other platforms, because some people don't have TikTok or don't have Facebook or what have you. So we're working on that. But we're going to try and do it, Dave, if we can?
Yeah, we're going to try to do all kinds of stuff. We're experimenting around.
Mm-hmm. We're experimenting, yes. So if you ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock. I've got 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and the Angel Rocker Tribe for more spiritual type stuff. If you want to book a reading, healing session, I do mentoring. You got a guest or show idea, please let me know. This Monday coming up on the Angel Rock, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do not have a guest booked. So we'll see what happens. I may be going out to the camp. We have no internet. Or if I'm back here, which more than likely I will be, I may just be hanging out with y'all, which will be fun. We love doing shows like that. Otherwise, please stay tuned for Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano coming right up with night 2 of The Outer Realm. You guys will love them. If you haven't hung out with them yet, you will love them. Anyways, we will see you all next week, right, Dave? Same time, same place. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. What's at the foot of your bed? I saw you. It's dragging. One of these days, we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
I heard both of our voices at the same time for a split second.
Have a great, safe holiday weekend if you're celebrating. Much love. Take care of your pets. Take care. We love you. We'll see you next week. Okay, guys.